I've got absolutely no self-control. I can't even go 20 minutes without a drink on my birthday.
Like the mother is like also working through
the night.
Yeah, through the night and then working in the day.
Well, how do you deal with having sales when you have so many stockists, you know? How does that affect your stockists? And she's like, how do you... I was like, I don't know, we just have sales. You're listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, Around the Dinner Table with Cherie, Cam and Lorne, where we chat all things food and business. Right, welcome to the Around the Dinner Table. We're back at you 3 weeks in a row. We are going solid. I hope you're enjoying our regular weekly content. Yeah. This is us, 2024, Be Better. We're on.
Better. Are you being better this year?
I'm trying really hard to be better. I said last week I was doing Sober February and I was going on alcohol shaming everyone for being such alcoholics. I was like, I'm doing Sober February.
And then it was your birthday.
Yeah.
On the 2nd of February.
Yeah, and I tried.
You tried.
I did, You were there. I tried real hard. 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
And then Bobby brought me a bottle of my favourite champagne. He's like, happy birthday. I was like, no, I'm not drinking.
Anyway, do you want to introduce our guest?
So that's, yes, better. We're here today with Hannah Courtney, aka Hannah Malsop, who is the brains and face behind Real Rad Food and is now Mumfluencer of the Year. In her mumfluencing era, which I was just saying just before we turned the mic on, is really where I started. Like, that is absolutely that place where I started, when you just get so immersed in this life with your baby and starting solids and I can't even remember now. You're probably in there, Lorne, but handmade bibs and cute onesies and baby shoes and all that amazing stuff. So we've got Hannah on today to talk a little bit about the business journey with Real Rad Food and all things around that, really. So welcome. Thank you for coming over.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm a big fan of the pod.
Awesome.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
I think it's good. I think we should have more listeners. We need to get some more listeners, eh?
Do we just buy them? Do you buy more listeners? Is that how you do it?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
I was just saying to Hannah before that we don't even have an Instagram for the podcast. We just have a TikTok. So we must
maybe
have
we should start an Instagram
100 clips that we can just post onto Instagram.
You had some viral podcast clips on TikTok though, right?
Yeah, there was some, but they weren't even the ones that were that funny, eh?
It's the weird ones.
It was real weird ones.
But it's the ones that get comments.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay.
It'd be a bit controversial.
You've got to cancel more stuff. You've got to cancel stuff that everyone loves.
Oh, that one that went viral about me saying that the top 3 restaurants in Auckland. Yeah, and then everyone's got an opinion on it, I guess. Yeah.
So come up with some more opinions.
Oh, well, I've tried to make some bold calls. I've been making bold calls every week.
Yeah, but cancelling Weet-Bix every week is just dumb.
No, excuse me, I've not even talked about that. Weeks. All right, where shall we start? Shall we talk about Real Rad Food a little bit first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll do that first and then we'll do our weekly bits after. So when did you start Real Rad?
In 2000, what am I even?
We're 24
24 now. Must have been 9 years ago.
I started Real Rad Food about 7 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys do the math on that.
Was it around the same time we started Pepper and Me?
Yeah. Well, they'll be having their 7th birthday in April of this year.
Yeah.
28.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And you must have been, I remember you being very, very young, but then you also looked even younger.
Thank
so
you.
I remember I was like, she's like 14-year-old girl.
Yeah,
blissful. She's doing real well.
I was 21
Yeah.
when I started it.
Yeah.
And basically went to university and did a geography degree, which I've never used to this day, so it's basically a $40,000
Geography. Yeah,
$40,000 piece of paper.
That's rogue.
It was rogue, but while I was doing that, I was working in a cafe that was a plant-based cafe, and that's where I learned to make all the raw cakes and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess it served its purpose to some degree, but I started an Instagram page on the side of all of the cakes and stuff that I was making and just shared what I was making at the cafe and at home, because I was very much into the plant-based vegan food scene.
All the smoothie bowls, I bet.
Yeah, 7 bananas in my nice cream smoothie bowl. It was a time, but...
Is that one of those brown coconut bowls?
Yes, literally. Yeah, and then, grew a following on Instagram and then finished my degree and decided to give it a crack. And yeah, like you said, went to all the markets.
Yeah, so you started at Little Bigs?
Yeah.
Yeah, same as us, which is really cool. Yeah, around the same time. I love that. And Real Red started as the raw slices. Oh, the raw cake. You did the round cakes, eh?
Yeah.
And bliss balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were selling the cakes and the bliss balls at the markets, and then I really wanted us to be able to send something nationwide because we had, a following all over the country.
Yeah.
And the bliss balls were what we did with that.
Yeah.
In order to be able to reach the people across the country. But a year later, we were able to
ship the
slices with, wool cool frozen packaging,
yeah.
etc. overnight. But
yeah. You were incredible to figure that out because, I think they've come in leaps and bounds, but it's still got to be the biggest logistical nightmare to ship chilled or frozen goods across the country is just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and very, very expensive.
Yeah,
very the packaging expensive. Cost and then the
shipping cost.
The shipping cost.
Did you have much wastage? Did you have 15% just
didn't arrive or didn't arrive for 4 days or?
Definitely in the earlier days we had a lot more of that, but NZ Post's perishable network actually improved a lot in our later years.
Yeah, I do recall speaking to Danica about that a few years ago. And when I started Peppermint, it was never in my head to think, I shouldn't do chilled. I just started doing this, and I always just think God, that was a stroke of luck. What a stroke of luck. But I always remember thinking, God, poor Hannah, I wonder how many emails if I'm getting emails about product not arriving every day, I wonder how many emails she's getting.
I think for us, it was we're a very low risk product in terms of, so it actually was fine
even
for
if it was ambient.
Yeah, we did a lot of testing. Even it wasn't arriving to people frozen.
Yeah.
So we had to educate the customer on the slices aren't going to be rock solid frozen when they arrive to you. They will be cold.
Yes.
But just pop them in your fridge or your freezer.
And they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did have a bit more leeway.
Yeah, true. You're not shipping meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not having chicken sit in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, did I tell you about the time I ordered oysters? Did I ever talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered 12 dozen oysters for a function
And they didn't
for my
arrive?
book launch, and they never arrived.
But they did arrive.
Well, yeah, they had arrived, and someone put them around the back of my house, around the side of my house by my wheelie bin. 12 dozen oysters I found a week later.
And did you you're these aren't here sort of thing to the company?
Yeah. I was like, they've never arrived.
Yeah.
And it was on the weekend, so I had 4 people out I was trying to buy oysters across the land for this event. I was like, where's my bloody oysters? Yeah, found them.
Yeah, we had a few situations like that where, customers were like, it's not arrived. And I was like, well, here's your tracking that said it did arrive. And then whole investigation with the NZ Post. And it's is this even, sometimes I'm sure you guys have the same thing. You go to such lengths and you spend so much time trying to figure out where this package is. It's let's not even worry about it and just send them a new one because it's not worth the time of creating the investigation. They ask you all the same questions that you have to fill it. It's just
This is an interesting yarn because we went down that track. We got to the point about midway through last year, we were like, screw it, NZ Post are messing us around so much. Let's launch an investigation on every package.
Yeah, we decided to drill down every single parcel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we started off like that. We were like, customers always right. As soon as there's anything that's gone wrong, send them a new parcel. If they end up, both of them arrive on the same day, what's the cost to us? It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. But then it got to the point where we were having so many issues and breakages and lost parcels and all this that we went down that track as a research opportunity, and it wasn't worth it. Waste of time. Absolute waste of time.
Yeah.
Because they just come back to you asking you for more information, these outlandish questions, and then you get nowhere. It's they're almost just trying to
And you fight for an hour.
Yeah,
at least an hour.
There's an hour of someone's time to fill out.
$3.47 plus GST.
Yeah. There's an hour of someone's time to try and fight one claim. And they're only paying cost of goods and stuff, so it's just it wasn't worth it.
We had a situation where we packed all of the frozen orders. Maybe there was 60 on a Wednesday, and then the delivery guy was supposed to come back, and so we just put the roller door down and left the box there. Left the box outside for him to come pick it up, but it was a new guy. Anyways, long story short, he didn't end up coming to pick them up. And on the Monday, because we only used to dispatch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because of frozen and whatnot, on the Monday, I came to work and we just had all of these emails of hey, asking for tracking, just like customers like seeming like they hadn't received it. And then we look outside and the box of all of our packages was still sitting there. Yeah. They were actually pretty good about that, but in terms of reimbursing us the cost price. But it was kind of our bad too, because we probably just should have waited to make sure that he came back.
Sure they got picked up. And you obviously built that business up to be a pretty epic, amazing thing. And then fast forward on and you sold last year, mid-last year? Early last year.
We settled first week of May.
Oh, yeah.
They took over first week of May.
Yeah. So what made you decide? Well, you've got a little baby now, and I think you'd settled around the time Win was born, eh? Is that right?
Yeah.
So you knew you were sold, and that was kind of your handover period, and then your little girl was born, and then you could kind of ease out. So is that what made you make the decision to?
Yeah, I think for me, even when I started Real Red Food, the goal was always to sell at some point. I didn't envision it being my forever career. And so I think, I had such a big journey with like building a business from nothing and then starting to operate like a pretty, I guess, established business, that it felt like I was keen to close the loop on the whole journey, which to me was like building something that someone wanted to purchase.
Yeah.
And I always knew that would be like in the next few years, but January of last year, I was in my third trimester, things were starting to happen in my husband's career that meant that he was going to be needed pretty heavily in his career, and I just knew something had to give.
Yeah.
I also was like, we had just gone through a really big growth period, and I was like, this thing is I either
momentum,
need, and I'm about to have this baby, and like being a mother has always been something that I've wanted to do, and I'm going to be spread too thin. I'm also a very all or nothing person, so I go all in on something. I went all in on Real Red Food for 6 years, and I wanted the opportunity to do that with like being a mother. So in January, I decided, I was like, I think we should list it now because it might take a while to sell. Yeah. Even if it takes a year, 18 months, I can make it work for that long with Win.
Yeah.
There's an end and goal. End in sight.
Yeah. And so we listed in January. No, sorry. I went to the broker in January. All the information went out to his database in maybe February. First conversation, only conversation I had was with the people that purchased it in March. Then there was like a due diligence period of 3 weeks, which is pretty short.
That's short for a business.
Very short, wow.
Because I was very pregnant and his wife, Sarah, was also actually very pregnant.
Okay.
So we ended up, so we were in the due diligence period. We were supposed to settle like the day after Win was actually born, but settlement got pushed back 5 days. I remember we were like on the phone with the lawyers driving from the hospital to the birthing centre.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is life? Anyways, we ended up settling and she was like a week old, and then the handover period started when she was in that very much newborn phase. I remember thinking like, this is full on doing a handover period with a newborn, but the timing was perfect because she just slept the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just like tapped away on my laptop all day, like sending them all this stuff, and then went in a few times and whatnot. But Kelsey, who's still with the business, who was my staff member, did majority of like the operational handover.
Cool.
Oh, that's good. That would have been
Heaps of
really
knowledge still there, I guess.
God, that's intense. Yeah,
It was
newborn
very intense.
and handover, but yeah, wow. I guess you just do what you got to do. I do remember with Kit, I was in labour doing my GST return, like in between contractions. Like you just do it, eh? You just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And then and so with your handover, did you have any ties like for the next 6 months or anything?
Yeah.
What was your sort of like? Well, when we sold Kitco, we have a 2-year sort of like ease out almost to sort of.
Well, we just want to make sure that they succeed, I guess.
Yeah, we do want to make sure that they succeed, but they were very wary of how heavily tied to the business I was, which is the same in your case. Real Red Food was very much Hannah, and I think they were worried that if I was just done, that what would happen. So, which is easy. It was like nothing to agree to. I'm like, I'm literally going to be using this cookware every day, regardless. So it's really easy to.
So is there like set things that you have to do every week?
Nah,
or just
there's actually not. But for anything that I do, and that any sales that we bump up, we do see a financial benefit ourselves from that in return. So it's in my best interest to make sure that their turnover stays really good. Yeah. And then that leaves me free to be like, I literally don't even think about it. I just use the cookware as I would normally and direct everyone to.
But at the end of, before you sold Kitco, that's all we did with Kitco anyway. Like, we were very...
That is all I've ever done with Kitco anyway.
That's why we sold it. Like, it was so hands-off.
It is very hands-off, yeah. But it's quite,
We've got the usual, like, non-competes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Which is totally fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my in our sale and purchase, the broker was like, oh yeah, and just this one's really important to know. You won't be able to operate another food business for X amount of, and like before he even finished the sentence, I was like, I will never be doing this again.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about that. I'll sign on the dotted line.
How many years? Just like double it, so I definitely can't do it.
But no, so I had our sale and purchase was like very standard. Apparently, it was very standard. There was nothing it was basically, pay the money, it's yours. There was no long-term buyout period, etc. But there was a 6-month period where they were able to contract me as like to do marketing work for them.
Interesting.
And we actually ended up, I only did that for about 3 months because the other counterpart of that, Lorne, who used to contract to me, who contracted with them for a while, she ended up taking a full-time role elsewhere. So between Sarah and I, it was just like a little bit too much work, and they needed to either get another... They basically ended up getting an agency on board to assist them with marketing, and with that meant that more of the budget was going to the agency. So I was like, I'm happy for it to end now if it needs to end well, and end now with budgets. And so I was assisting them with marketing, and we also launched Rad Mama like right after we sold the business. So and that was like my product because I just had a baby. So it made sense. But that's basically it. And I'm very friendly with them now. I went to their Christmas lunch and whatnot, but they are just out there doing their thing, and kind of there was quite a big line in the sand, which was what I wanted, because I think it's important. I was ready to move on with my next chapter. Yeah. It's like, going back and like dating your ex again sort of thing. I just wanted there to, and the broker was also really helpful for me with that. He was like, you don't give too much of yourself away, because you're going to want to, draw the line in the sand.
And you don't want to end up being resentful of it, or resentful of them, or like feeling like you're getting dragged along on something that you're not in control of. So that's fair.
But biggest supporter of the brand, but we're just out there doing our own thing now, which is nice.
That's very cool. Very cool. It's very interesting. Like, it's always in my head with Pepper and me, as to how that might look. As an end game, everyone's always asking that, and I'm like, we've just never had an end game, because it provides such a great lifestyle for myself and Lorne, in which we can sort of pick and, obviously we can't pick and choose everything, but pick and choose when we're here, and have a lot of creative freedom. I get to cook all day, which is essentially all I want to do anyway, and then you just have to deal with the gnarly bits as they come. But I think the more that I look and see other people, I'm like, we need to have a plan for an exit plan.
But do you know what the best thing about what you just said is? It's like it's such a desirable business for someone else to buy as well, because they're going to get that same flexibility that you guys have right now. Yeah. Like I loved what I did with Real Red Food for all those years. Like, it was so great. We worked Monday to Wednesday sort of thing. I worked from home Thursday, Friday. Like, it was a very desirable business to purchase, because we built a business that I love to run. Yes. I really enjoyed running, which someone else will want to do one day too.
Yeah, I think, and that's what happened with Kitco, because it was structured quite similar. The shipping was then outsourced from a 3PL. It was very hands-off. Like, essentially all you're doing is promoting the product and reordering, maybe choosing new colours, and you could, like, we learned enough about wholesale to have built that in, that if they wanted to wholesale it, they could go down that avenue. If they wanted to go to Aussie, they could go down, like, you're selling this entity that's got all these options for growth, and that's what someone said to us recently. You need to sell before you peak, complete, like, or when you're heading towards that peak. You don't want to be selling on your downhill.
Yeah.
And that was the same, like, same with Real Red Food. We had just gone through this massive growth period, and I was speaking, like, my brother's right into, he's like a business banker or whatever, but he was like, oh, like, look at the numbers, like, you can't sell now, like, you could make X amount of dollars in the next financial year, and I'm like,
That makes it worth more. To someone
yeah,
else.
yeah, and it was also a great feeling to go into these meetings with the purchasers, knowing that, like, didn't need to be done now. If I hold on another year, this could maybe be worth X more.
Yeah.
And so, like, I felt like I had power in the seat. So I'm like,
100%.
this is what I want for it. This is an awesome business that I'm happy to continue operating if I need to.
Yeah.
And there's so much potential that either you or I am going to reap the rewards of.
Yeah. And that's exactly the same with Kitco.
Yeah.
We went to the broker and we're like, oh, look, we don't need to sell. This is how much I want for it. If you can't get it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And
No room for negotiation.
not really.
Yeah.
Nah.
Same.
We're like, oh, we're fine. It's not really it's taking up a little bit of our time. Ideally we could have the cash in the bank to square up some loose ends and invest a bit more in some other stuff, but and that gives you the absolute power, eh?
Totally.
Which is great. And that's a big learning that I would take away towards selling anything else. Where we came to Pepper and me is like, don't wait till you're forced to sell. Yeah. Sell when you're like, I'm at a good place.
When you're happy. But I mean, that it goes to show as well how fast Real Red sold as well. Like, if you manage to have that tied up in the space of 3 or 4 months, that's wild.
So we've been talking a little bit about buying businesses, buying property, all sorts of things with the interest rate being so high at the moment, how it makes it really harder to sell a business when you're paying so much interest on that debt. Well, your profit needs to be so high because if it's like, big profit, but also I'm investing this much money, my interest at that interest rate. So you'd be looking to sell to someone who's very cashed up, in which case it would then just be absorbed into another manufacturing system and put on all the supermarket shit. Like, that's who it would sell to.
Right.
So that's quite an interesting thing to be aware of, like, with us at the moment.
Yeah, the cost of money is expensive.
The cost of money is expensive, yeah. We're looking at buying possibly a piece of land in a year or so to make Pepper and me bigger, and running those numbers on that interest rate's like it's not going to be the best option. So,
well, it would be worth it, but it's just the risk is way higher.
And your returns way lower, especially in Tauriko, where it's the cost of land is double the cost of
somewhere 20 minutes away.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yep. Not that we're experts, but we're certainly like learning a little bit at the moment about all that.
Yep.
Yeah, see, we never were very lucky to just grow slowly and reinvest the profits. Like, that was the thing, like, Real Red Food kind of needed like someone else who was going to come in and maybe take some risk. Whereas I was just like trotting along, and then it got to this level and I was like, I think I'm done here. Because really I was just a creative. Yeah. I wasn't actually I had no idea really. I was just figuring it out as I went. And I think in order for Real Red Food to go to the next level, it needed that like next level of sort of. Yeah,
very much the same as me. I'm very much just a creative, and then you learn as you go. I always felt like I admired your discipline though. You had really good discipline in learning, whereas I kind of like slipped off the wheels. Like
what do you mean?
Discipline is
I've
that
got
even
no
in your
discipline.
vocabulary?
I've got no discipline at all. Someone said that's the difference between, I read this, the difference between successful people and non-successful people is control.
Oh, yeah.
Everything comes down to control or discipline. Do you have self-control? I have absolutely
Cherie, you are so successful though.
I've got absolutely no self-control. I can't even go 20 minutes without a drink on my birthday.
Not many can.
Like food, alcohol, anything, no
36 hours into February. Okay, I'll have a champagne. Fine, twist my arm.
Twist my rubber arm.
Oh.
Yeah, but that sort of quote's always stuck in my head. I've always kind of been like, oh, that's so interesting. It's one thing I don't have that I wish I had. We did that. Have you done that Clifton Strengths Finder?
Or like a personality.
So there's it's like personality profiling. We've been doing it with new employees, and it's incredibly accurate. So there's like a spectrum of 34 strengths, and there's across 5 different categories. There's like relationship building, tasks, like
communication,
and then there's
doing or competition or something like
what's
that.
one,
And then there's,
and what's the one? And it's literally like achieving.
yeah,
That's got like strategic stuff like that, and then your strengths are like, and you get your top 5, and then you work, so you play towards these strengths, and you're like, right, so mine are adaptability. So I've got great adaptability. I can like change with the wind and like adapt real quick. Mine is my top strength. What's the one we woo, which is
impressing other people.
basically being able to charm, like being a bit like charismatic.
And then what's the other
what's
one?
our top one? The one that we both have, where we rush into
one
things.
And mine's second, and it's like just about starting.
It's the opposite of deliberation. You basically dive into things without thinking. Yeah, it's like that,
much,
but it makes it sound positive.
Right.
And it is a strength because it means you
Decisive?
you leap into things, and you're not scared to just give them a go. And at the other end of the scale is the deliberation is when you think, study, and then you act at the end, and you both get to this activator. That's what it's called. So activator just jumps in and learns as they go.
Just starts.
And deliberation learns, and you both get there in the end. But that's my top strength is you just jump in with your eyes closed.
Yeah. I think you've got to be that way in this sort of industry as well.
I think it's a great skill to have. But then, do you know what my number 34 strength is?
Discipline.
That is not even.
It doesn't even show up.
Are
not
you
even
disciplined?
No, but it's not 34. It's probably
It's
like in the middle
34.
somewhere.
Literally 34. It's so fascinating, and we do find it like bang on when we're hiring staff.
Interesting.
And you can kind of think like, what, when we hired Ella, our sales rep, we're like, well, we want some good relationship building, but I'm like, we need someone. What we lack is someone who achieves tasks, because I'm ideas, leap in, do this, go with the flow. But I'm like, do I actually achieve anything? Sometimes no.
Because we activate stuff, but we don't finish anything.
Exactly.
We could write a to-do list really good. We wouldn't do it.
No.
I'm sure that there's so many entrepreneurs out there, though, that are the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
See, I am like a list writer and a ticker, I suppose.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. So when we hire people, like we need to look to
we look at the
these.
grid of our whole team and be like, oh, there's this big empty
We're
spot
really
over here.
lacking
No
in this
one's
whole
cutting it
yellow
there.
category.
Of doing.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, what were we even talking about? I've
Gone rogue.
Oh, I was just saying I admire that, and I always found that you were quite disciplined when you said you were going to do something and you actually sort of achieved it.
That's me just being quite all in on things though. Like whether that be like the whole business in general or like I want to launch X product, I can just I'm just gonna do it until it's done sort of thing.
Yeah.
I guess that just gives me purpose and it satisfies me to get a project over the line.
Yeah. That's so cool. So, right, now you're all sold and done, and you've got little baby Win, and you just got married, which is very cool. And now you're what? I don't want to say you're mumfluencing, but what's next on the cards? What's
Yeah, so I always had a bit of a personal brand alongside Real Rad Food. And my personal brand was really built off the back of people enjoying my business journey with Real Rad Food.
Yeah.
So it was actually awesome to finish with Real Rad Food and then have a creative outlet of continuing to create content under a personal brand. So yeah, I, do a little bit of creator influencer work. And then in terms of my next steps for an actual career, my partner's involved with food stuff, so we're hoping to buy a supermarket in the next 12 months or so, and I will have some role in that.
Cool.
Not sure what that's going to look like, but that will be... I'm not going to be starting another business anytime soon. We sold Real Rad Food in order to go and do the supermarket thing.
Yeah, cool.
And also it's going to be... It's going to require a lot of him / all of him. So I just want to make sure that the family is my focus, and then I'll support in the store as and where I can.
Cool.
But yeah, that's really what I'm doing now and planning to do next, I suppose.
Cool. You always said that was on the card, so I did kind of wonder if that's where you were gonna go.
Yeah, so he's been working in a store for 10 years now, and then earlier this year, which was another catalyst for Real Red Food, because like he was approved as a operator, and then now we're just sort of waiting for one to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I know a few people that like all of a sudden something like pops up 5 hours away and you're just gone. You've been waiting
we
for this
could
for so
go
long.
anywhere.
It could happen,
Yeah.
eh?
Would you go? You'd go, eh?
I'm ready as well. I've been here, like I grew up here, went to Auckland for 3 years and then came back here. So I love this place so much, but very keen to just be somewhere new where we know no one and like build relationships and be in the community and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Well, that's great. That's such a great journey story. I love it. I look forward to, because you're so young. I look forward to seeing what you do next. I'm ready to retire. I'm 35. I'm like, I'm done. I'm exhausted.
I say to Mac, like Sundays are my favourite day because I like go to sleep being like, tomorrow may as well be another Sunday. Like,
that's so nice.
Yeah, I feel like so many of my mum friends that had children similar time as Wynn, very keen to get back into the workforce and like good on them, but I feel so lucky to have the choice and option to stay at home because like it's exactly where I want to be. I feel very fulfilled caring for Wynn, and I do like treat it like a job in some aspects too. Like I love to work hard, and so like at the end of the day when I sit down and Wynn's gone to bed, I'm like, it's like big day, big day, but like that's fulfilling to me.
Cool. Yeah,
I
that's
do all
awesome.
the household duties and stuff. So.
Nice.
I'm a bit of a chameleon. I can go through many eras. And
It's
stages of
literally
life.
more work than a full-time job, though. It's like, oh God, I know these two like newish dads. I don't know them super well, but like I'm real good friends with my partner. And he comes home and he's like, oh God, they're really struggling. They think they do everything, and I was like. Like you need to give them a reality check. Like, oh, they stay home all day and do nothing. Like, oh my God, you do. And like, won't go into it. But I was like, oh, someone needs to just give them both a kick up the ass. Absolutely shocking. It's so hard. It's so absolutely hard. You almost want to go back to work to have a break from that full-time job.
Yesterday, Mac was home yesterday, public holiday, and I was going to go for a walk up the mount, and there was just no car parks. And so I'd be like, this is so annoying. I just want to like get up the mount and like go for a walk. But I was actually just like, it's actually so nice to just be like driving around by myself. So I just like kept doing laps. And then I just drove home and I was like, I actually feel better. Like I would come home in such a huff and a puff, like, why are all these people in my town? But the mental load of motherhood is definitely like a lot. And I think that I saw something on TikTok and it was like, as soon as, you let the dad sleep through the night and you do all the night feeds or whatever because the dad has to go to work in the morning. And it's like that is like the first time where like you just like see the shift of what the mental load is because like the mother is like also working through
the night.
Yeah, through the night and then working in the day.
Yeah.
And they think that we just like go off and get coffees with the mum friends and I do. And motherhood does come very like naturally and quite easy to me. Also Wynn is a very good baby. I've been lucky in that as well. But it's definitely hard work. Like the other night I went to go get a spray tan and Mac was on the dinner and bath time. So, 5 till 6 o'clock. And he was just like, oh, I'm glad you made me do this because it just makes me like appreciate what you do 3 times a day, day in, day out sort of thing. So I think it's important for them to like have time solo with the baby so they actually understand because I think he can forget sometimes because I just do everything because I want to.
Yeah. How old is she now? 9 months?
Yeah.
9 months. Yeah.
She seems so chill compared to, we've got a 10-month-old and he is like screamy as anything and just like throwing stuff everywhere, and I see you feeding Win, and I'm just like, she's so chill. Is that like a girl thing?
Well,
or I don't
yeah,
know.
I do see boys, and I'm
man.
like, they look way more hectic.
I think it's a second child as well. Like he's
Kit
just a bruiser.
Kit was
He is just
walking
a
at 8 months old.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he
crazy.
was so
Win
full
can't
on.
even crawl. She only just
enjoy
sat.
that. Enjoy
Make
that.
the most of it.
Yeah, you
Yep.
enjoy that. Oh, yeah.
Abel was walking 9 months, and Marley will be walking in the next month as well. He's standing up for himself.
But second kids are so much different though. You're like,
Yep.
in your slot, you got another one.
Yeah, I'm definitely just enjoying just having Win at the moment because, yeah, as I said, she's so chill and it's like so easy that
Yeah.
I'm just like, we're definitely not in a rush to have two. I just feel like it will become so chaotic.
It's pretty chaotic, but then, yeah, I don't know. I was like, Pepper was like literally a dream. She's still the easiest child
chill.
on the planet. She just does everything she's asked. Yeah.
I can't wait till
The
Kit's
girls
like
are-
13 or something.
Oh,
That's
he's
gonna be-
already, oh my gosh, I just cannot deal with him sometimes. He gets away with so much.
Yeah.
He doesn't get away with it at Shannon's house, and it's quite hard to like, because Pepper tells me. She was telling everyone at
Really?
my house the other day.
Oh,
Because Kit had a big old hissy fit because we walked to someone else's swimming pool and Kit had a big old tantrum when we got out because he didn't have his clothes. So I took him home to get his clothes.
Yeah.
And Pepper goes to everyone else, oh, there goes Kit getting his way as per.
She's iconic.
I was like, can you stop exposing me?
so good.
That is
So
hilarious.
good.
Yeah. All right. So we'll talk about food, eh? We'll talk. What's our usual segments? What has been on your plate? What's the best thing you've been eating recently? Cooked or out anywhere?
Best thing I've had cooked at home is fish that Max caught. He's been like actually pretty lucky in the Bay of Empty lately. So we've had a lot of fresh fish, which has been nice.
Oh,
and
so good, eh? Unbeatable fresh fish.
yeah, like death row meal, like fish tacos. Is
Yeah,
like
same.
It's just like, you know, I get the corn tortillas.
Yeah, okay.
So good. Just like spray some water on the pan. They're like so soft and delicious. I like keep it real simple with just iceberg lettuce, red onion, either crumb or just pan fry the fish. Either way, but like fresh fish is like so good.
I actually made the exact meal a week ago, and I put black gold on the fish, like the salt, our new salt and vinegar seasoning, and then
nice.
nothing else, just pan fried it.
Yeah.
And then we had the same. I like flour tortilla, avo, iceberg, tomato.
We do beer battered fish in fish tacos. Little tiny, almost like
Do you
nugget size.
Batter your own fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what is like the ultimate when you have fresh fish that was literally just caught a couple hours ago? I don't know if you guys are going to agree with this because you're like real foodies, but sometimes I take that fish to the fish and chip shop, get it crumbed.
Yeah, crumbed.
So it's like
Yeah.
mint quality fresh
Yeah,
snapper,
yeah.
crumbed and like naughty as from the fish and chip shop, but in like fresh tacos. It's so good.
I agree, 100%
Yeah, I'm
agree with
into
that.
it, yeah.
I'm so into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
And you got your chips and fresh snapper. It's actually
good.
just. I was so spoilt with it when I used to work on yachts here, and you just eat fresh snapper all the time, and then I just don't buy it. It's not something I buy because it's just never as good. But then when everyone's been on the fish, it's just so good. I've got a freezer full because I went fishing in.
Oh, you did too, didn't you? Mangawhai.
Yeah, when Mangawhai. Yeah, and we caught like 15 fish, and then I took it all home. It was great. 2-hour charter, loved it. Yeah, so it's frozen, so it's not as good, but I caught it, so it's still great. What did we? I went to Pap House for my birthday, but I didn't actually have any dinner because I decided I'm trying to do my blooming February challenge. I've signed up for this like
What does it
monthly
entail?
challenge. It's like a weight loss challenge at the gym. And I was like, yeah, I need to do this. This is something I need to do. So I was like, I'm drinking alcohol, I better not eat. That'll balance out.
Makes sense.
But then, we did have Leo's pizza last week, and I haven't really had it before, but it's in Pap, and it's like
Is it on Sandhurst? No.
no, that's Basilico.
Right.
That's nice, but this one was better. It was like
Yeah.
a square but flat base, like nice thin crust, with heaps of oregano. It was stunning. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, best pizza I've had around for ages. Yeah, really nice wood fire square base Leo's pizza. We just had a cheese pizza. It was great. I can't think of anything else really.
Have you had the pizza at like Rita's, but it's actually like Lloyd's pizza?
Yeah, the Avenue,
it's
the
like-
big fat
yeah,
square
do
ones.
you like that?
I
Or
do
is it
like
too
it.
thick?
It's very thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're like super hungry and you're wanting some bread it's basically loaded for kasha almost, isn't it?
Yeah,
I do like it, but I think there's you've got to really like be feeling like that. If you want something sort of super cheesy, it's probably not the best.
Yeah.
But I quite liked that. They used to do the pepperoni one. You could put hot honey on it. I used to love that one. Do you like that?
I do like that. They used to do the Hawaiian one. Maybe that also had hot honey.
Yeah, maybe.
It was like a hot Hawaiian. It was like a
Yes.
spicy Hawaiian. It was but they don't do it anymore. But we do like that. But I don't often. If I'm looking for something like that, I'm like a big Palestine. It's been done, but I fucking love
I
it.
saw you were there the other day. That is my
It's so good.
absolute
The wings
favourite.
are that good as
They
well.
are so good.
Mac used to always get them, and I'd be like, nah, not really my thing. And now I'm like eating half the wings.
Yeah, the hot buffalo wings with the blue cheese dip are outstanding.
So good.
So good, especially if you're hungover and like cheese and gravy fries. Oh, absolutely love it. Have you been there again?
Not recently.
You need to go.
So-
It's the best
It's the
food. Oh, what's your favourite place to go in the Mount for dinner, for like a nice dinner?
I love Alpino. I love sitting outside at
Yeah.
Alpino. I'm going there for the vibes.
Yeah.
And the pizza is really nice.
Pizza's really good.
I like that they have burrata. Because I'm that girl as well.
Same.
Where else do I like to go in the Mount?
I went to Fife Lane last week. Did I talk about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't been. I like hardly go, mainly because I don't plan my dinners out too much in advance. So whenever I always want to go, and it's always fully booked. But it's amazing, and we actually I think you could definitely go and spend a lot of money real quick, but we kind of just chose. We shared a seafood pasta, which was really nice, and the chicken liver parfait, which was really delicious, and then we had a bavette. The bavette is my favourite steak at the moment, like a seared Wagyu bavette.
What is a bavette?
It's almost like a rump steak kind of texture, but it's real tasty. Yeah, I reckon it's they do one at Sailor with like a bavette and chips. It's amazing. And we had a sirloin. I don't like sirloin at all. I'd actually go to cancel sirloin.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I tried to do one on the barbecue, like a slab of it, and it just was gross.
Every time I have sirloin, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm done with it. I'm actually never ordering it again. Jess is like, get the sirloin. I was like, I don't like sirloin, but we'll get it because you're saying it's amazing. I wanted to have the beef Wellington. We didn't. We got the sirloin.
I got that when I went to Fife Lane.
Yeah. Was it
It's
good?
so good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Should've
I
got
had
that.
just never had that before,
Yeah.
and I was keen to try, and it was nice.
Yeah. But you can choose you choose your steak, and we shared two between the three of us, and they sliced up, which is quite good. And then you can choose your sauces. So we had like horseradish foam, peppercorn jus. There was like a chimichurri. We had like a herb, but we had like 5 sauces with the steaks, and that made me very happy. I was quite happy with that. And the price was actually pretty good. Like we chose the cheaper steaks, but like there was like a beautiful like lamb dish, and they were all around $30 a main.
Yep.
So I thought it was quite good. It's in the top 100 steakhouses in the world.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. We went probably 6 months ago.
Yeah, I need to go there more.
I need to go there full stop.
Yeah, you need to go there. Yeah, you and Hayley would really like that for a nice little date because they've got some yummy seafood bits on there as well.
We've been going out a lot more than usual recently because we've had heaps of people over for
To
babysitting,
babysit,
especially over
yeah.
Christmas and whatnot. So we've been out a few times, but we normally find somewhere that we like and we keep going back there.
Where do you like?
Yeah, we went to Umami again, literally after
Oh,
talking
your new
about
fave,
Wait, where is
yeah.
that?
It's literally the Pies Bar shops. Everyone
It's so
reckons
good.
Cuisine.
it's
It's like Japanese fusion,
like
sort of
Asian
stuff,
fusion,
Oh,
yeah.
it makes
but
sense.
it is so good.
Yeah,
Um,
everyone's been raving about it. It's just that no one's ever on the side of town to go. You wouldn't make the
Interesting.
trip.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the tempura,
Calamari.
the calamari tempura,
Eggplant.
so good. And we got the pork belly bao buns, which was mean it has like a wasabi mayo in it. But yeah, we probably ate like enough for 4 people because we just kept ordering stuff. It's just so good. And it was
I love that. I need
absolutely
to go
pouring down with rain, so we didn't want to leave.
Do you guys like izakai?
Oh,
Because that is one of my all-time favorites.
do you know what? I didn't mind the food, but I had such bad service that I've
Really?
got this big bee in my bonnet about going back there.
Right.
Yeah, I got real annoyed.
Right, like
Yeah.
just like slow to the table, or
Oh, we like just everything that there was 3 staff wandering around. The restaurant was empty, and no drinks orders, no food. We had to call them over to ask to order drinks, and then they came about an hour later, and then they never offered us another drink. I had to call them over to get the food order.
Wow.
Had to call them over and ask for another night, and then they were just wondering. They didn't check on the food, so we were there for ages, and everyone wanted to have a few drinks, and we had one drink.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah, and then we ordered more drinks. They forgot them, and just paying. I just got real. I was like, this is so shit.
Yeah, that is so annoying.
Yeah, but everyone's always at me like, Cherie, you need to go back. It's great food.
It's probably what Mac doesn't love it that much, and so I'm always like, if I go out with anyone else, I'm like, let's go. So
you like the ramen, eh?
Love the ramen. Also the lamb rib situation. It's super good. Like honestly,
hide and thirst.
Oh, they're so good. Like I salivate thinking about them. The fry bread.
Oh yeah,
so good. Power dumplings.
Yeah, I like that. They had a kai tai fire mayo with I think was it crispy tofu maybe?
Oh yeah.
And it was really nice. I think
I forgot how good kai tai fire is.
Me too.
What
I've been
is kai
going.
tai fire?
It's like a hot sauce.
Right.
I've actually been going hundies on the kai tai fire.
It's like
Tabasco,
like 15 years ago or something.
Slightly different.
And then forgot about it, but it's so good.
Yeah, I'm quite a big hot sauce fan because I've got fish oil, but then I've gone because I've realised when you count your calorie, trying to work out to cut back your calories, and you're like, right, I have 2 tablespoons of fish oil a day. It's 500 calories.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Oil.
It's going to be a lot.
It's not good. I've actually come up with an idea when I was thinking about it. I was like, I need fish oil. I was like, I'm going to do a dry fish oil. I'm just going to do, I'm going to put all the flavours of fish oil into a sprinkle.
Okay.
So a chili shaker.
Yep.
And then it'll be no calories. So I need to get chili flakes, Szechuan, some ginger, some garlic, some...
Don't give away the recipe.
Star anise, cinnamon. If I put a pinch of all that into the...
Okay.
And then maybe we'll sell it.
New product.
Skinny sesh.
Good name. You're so good with the names.
Yeah.
Going back to the
I was just read this, read that, and you're like, poke me.
True.
The mother ducker.
Do you know what? I came up with this great name. It's my boyfriend. He's very emotional and dramatic and in a good way, but he's very
in tune with his
He's very in tune. He's very, and I'm very the opposite. And he's been talking about we're just throwing around ideas for what he could do as a business, and he because he used to be an arborist, so he's I want to do tree maintenance and gardens and stuff like this. And we sitting there talking about business ideas for 2 hours, and I looked and I was like, oh my God, just came up with the best name for your business. High maintenance. It's high maintenance. I was like,
high maintenance.
It makes so much sense.
And you can answer your phone, hello, I'm high maintenance.
That's so good.
I was in absolute hysterics. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a successful business, but the name is absolutely
and
worth
also
it.
because trees are high.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It worked in all these
so good.
different ways.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have real slick branding, just high maintenance driving around.
That's so good.
Yes, I thought that was great. Maybe I should just come up with people's business name ideas.
So do you do all the names pretty much? That's your thing?
There's a few that we sort of collab on, the advent calendar ones. I think I can't do it in a rush.
Yeah.
And often someone's like, I need names for this. I actually just need, so the whole of January, I have been on form with ideas. I'm just ideas popping out of my head 24/7. I'm having 3 business ideas a day, and I was just thinking to myself, it's because I've not been at work stressed. I'm just full of ideas for everyone, solving problems on my peak ideas. But yeah, when I'm under the pump, I don't have any room to think, and I have nothing. So when it's Advent naming, we'll often all sort of pitch in, and sometimes we're there was one that I never really took us ages, a heart of coal.
Oh, yeah.
We spent so long trying to get the name right on that. It's a barbecue hemp heart seasoning. It's a crust almost.
But it's almost like a ducker kind of consistency.
And we called it salmon dance because it's beautiful as a salmon crust. And then we're right, we're trying to think of coal barbecues and hemp hearts. So we're heart of coal, as in heart of gold, play on that. But we spent months trying to come up with a name for that. Yeah. And I wasn't happy with any of them. And then hemp haze was kind of the same, which was the hemp heart hazelnut ducker. So hemp haze is a good name, but then maybe it doesn't kind of
portray what the product is.
Portray what the product is very well.
We're still battling, we've been battling for 3 years on naming the products. Do we call them dumb stuff, like lemon and herb crumb? which tells you
Tells you what the
exactly
product
is.
You
and
know?
it's
Or-
going to do well on a supermarket shelf.
Yeah.
Or do you call it, TikTok trending, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the product, but it's kind of a
Makes
play
sense for the
on the
brand.
product.
So like Rock the Za'atar is good because it tells you it's Za'atar. Taco Tuesday is good because it tells you it's a taco seasoning. Mother Ducker tells you it's Ducker. Poke Me is almost okay because you know it's like 4 poke bowls. And it's always in that like description
Yeah.
line. But you're right, in a supermarket shelf you often you
quite
need it
different
like
customers.
you need it bang in your face.
Because in the supermarkets, you've got people coming up to that product that like probably don't even know the brand.
Brand, yeah.
And so they need to kind of know.
Exactly
You
what
know,
you use as product.
I think I agree
It's a
with you.
balancing
But then like sometimes like ginger spice, it's telling you it's ginger spice. It's an important part of our brand.
Totally.
So I don't know. Sometimes
finding
we
a
used to put it in sort of bold underneath the name. You almost need to have it
Yeah, some of
a
them
second
do have,
line
like,
or
a second
something to
line.
tell you what it is.
The crumbles, like that's how the cookie crumbles
Yeah.
has like a orange and ginger
Orange and cardamom crumble topper
yeah,
or whatever.
stuff like that. But we haven't hit the sweet spot, I don't think. Or like rations says underneath it.
Cheese and bacon
cheese
dip
and
mix.
bacon dip mix. But it's hard because there's so much personality in the name of all of them.
I guess that's why we push so hard with brand exposure. So it's like we just need to get that Pepper and Me logo recognisable, or to be like, hey, I've seen that on TikTok, but I don't know what it is, or I don't know anything about it, but I've seen you around, and that seems to be working quite well. So I think that's why we push so hard on TikTok especially. It's like, are we getting sales from it? No. But are people going to then see it at the supermarket or the food show and say, I've seen that brand.
So many people at food shows.
I am
like, "I've seen you on
recognising that
TikTok,"
brand.
which is such a change from 5 years ago.
I've
with
seen you on
Snapchat
Instagram.
And then Instagram.
So it does work. It's just like, get that brand exposure out there. I guess it's like a big focus of ours.
Are you guys manufacturing fully in-house, or do you have certain products that are?
We manufacture all the dry products here and the sesh oil, and then the wet is outsourced still. Yeah, we need some big tanks, and it's a whole other food safety thing that we don't need at the moment. We've actually got no space to do it here.
Would you like to have control of all manufacturing?
No.
Not really. No, the idea last year was that we would actually start to whittle down the wet products and focus on what we do best. We've got that bagging machine down there for the dry products and like focus on that. But people just love the aiolis and stuff so much that we've not really been able to let much go.
Yeah.
So when we decided to cancel the aioli, the burger, the tartare, and we're like,
Such a
done.
big
We're like,
uproar.
done. Don't. And then just every day, everyone.
When's this coming back?
Burger
When's this
sauce,
coming
aioli.
back?
I'm
I've
like,
run out, I need more.
God, well, if we can get it right, we just do it, right?
Have you got them all back now?
Yeah. The factory that we used to make them at sold, and the new owner was just awful. So we were kind of tapped out, and then we tried with multiple other places to get them right, and we just couldn't get them the same. And then it's sort of pretty much almost went under, right? And it's been rebought. Some of the old staff have gone back to the original place, and they're like, "Hey, we can do this for you." And we're like, "Oh God, well, it's on a plate. Just do it."
Right.
And the products are spectacular again. So
Nice.
very happy to have them back.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we've got 3 different contract manufacturers that we use for different things. Yeah.
Do
so
you guys manufacture the butter in-house in winter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we do, which is it's such a big job. So we just do one massive run, couple of days making them, and then store them all and try and sell them all, and then it's done. Yeah, just do one a year. Get it in, get it out.
It's too hard. It's too much effort.
It's definitely a nightmare, and we obviously like dry product. We've got that really like sorted. We do that really well. But yeah, we didn't have much success whittling down products, did we?
No.
How many
Streamline.
SKUs are we currently running?
50. Yeah.
And do you have size variations in many of them?
We also tried to whittle that down to just move more from jars into bags, and then have the option of the shaker. So you buy your shakers, you buy your refill bags, and that's how you run your admin. But I mean, the jars are
pros and
quite
cons.
nice. The jars, people like the jars, especially the little salts in the jar. It's a really nice gift. Sort of better than the bags.
Especially for the everyday use type stuff. Like if you're opening and closing a bag of man grind every day, like it's not in a shaker or something, that's annoying. Like the dip mixes and stuff. We see heaps of them go out for gifts, and the gift, they just look better in a jar. Label turnaround is faster than a bag turnaround. So there's pros and cons to both.
And obviously jar's more expensive and it's more expensive to ship. So you got like you're
More risky shipping,
immediately looking
smashing
at like
it,
$2 more per product. And
You'd also
shipping
have
label
so
and-
much, with the bags, so much cash flow tied up in all these different custom bags.
Yep.
absolutely.
So I remember, like, you know, we're getting like 10,000 of each unit, and we've got 10,000 of each design,
Yep.
and you've got
50
like
SKUs.
starting to get up there. I remember being like, oh, this is interesting. Like, why do I have no money in my account and we're like doing better than ever?
Lorne says it to me all the time. I'm like, why is there no money?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all in product.
And then I remember that happening like two Black Friday, 3 years ago, after we stocked up heaps of Black Friday, just launched a new product or something along these lines. And I was like, holy, like, why are we going to struggle to pay the bills this month? And it was because I had never really done a proper stock take before that.
Yes.
The accountants had like said, and I'm like, oh, maybe like X.
Yeah, or you
And then
look
I
at
did it,
some
and it was like
pallets on the
4
shelf.
times
Yep.
the amount than what I thought it was. And I was like, okay, so that makes sense. We are going to get that money back at some point. But yeah, that was, with growth came some interesting financial situations.
Yeah, it's frustrating,
could have
isn't
been
it?
sticky.
Yeah. We definitely sort of found the same thing. I mean, get past the packaging and then it's something else like ingredients. To have control over your ingredients and you're not at the mercy of other like shortages of paprika or shortage of paprika deletes 10 items from our range and then that removes 10 sets and half our website's out of stock just from one ingredient. And you can guarantee if one stockist doesn't have it, the other one doesn't either, like one supplier. So I'm like, right, we need to be holding enough paprika for 3 months. And then to do that is really hard. It's space and it's money, but you need to do that to secure your brand, I guess.
Yep. Chicken stock's one of those. Chicken salt.
Chicken salt, yeah.
That's caught us out a few times.
Yeah, the smoked paprika's caught us out. Salt? Nah, we're usually pretty good on salt.
Salt's all good.
There's been a few.
Yep.
Chipotle powder.
It's always something.
It's always something.
I think like the beautiful thing about your business and Real Rad Food was like, because we had such strong direct to customer sales in the website, it's sort of like, because imagine if we were all wholesale. Your cash flow would be cooked. Because you're getting, from your direct to customer, you're getting that money in your account maybe a couple days later.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you were like 100% wholesale, you are A, having to stock up, and then B, you're getting paid on the 20th of the next month. Because, we found that when our supermarket stuff really increased, that was when the cash flow started to be an issue.
Where you would have had like 3 months of just waiting for stuff to flow through. And foodstuffs is, any supermarkets, they just run by their own rules. There's nothing. And then they'll take
I just won't pay that one.
7% off for some fee, and then they'll do this and do that. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, our auto invoice number recognition software read a 7 as a 1, so the PO number doesn't match up. So we're not going to pay this $700 invoice. And then it's 3 days of like trying to call someone and sort it out. And
it's so interesting. Like people are often like interested. Everyone asks me like, about what's your split direct to customer wholesale, 50-50, and it's so good to keep it that way. Although I'm sure it prohibits lots of growth. Someone asked me the other day, how do you deal with having sales when you have so many stockists? You know, how does that affect your stockists? And she's like, how do you? I was like, I don't know. We just have sales. If someone complains, we're like, oh well, too bad. But
they can have their own sale and drop their margin.
That's exactly right. I'm like, they're getting 40% margin off the product. So they've got room to do that. But if we're having a sale, it's not because we want to. It's because we need cash. So it's not like, oh, sorry, would you like to come and pay the bill? Maybe if you do, God. We don't want to discount our product that heavily. It's like, oh, we need to pay for this, we need to pay for this. It's just the way of the business world. I don't think people understand that. They get annoyed like, I just bought something full price yesterday.
I know. Well, like, could I have that discount applied to my order that I placed last week?
Yeah. I know. Like, I get it because it's frustrating. I do it too. I'm like, I just bought that. But that's
I just hate the L. Like, you're just like, oh, that sucks. Move on.
Snap
that's
up.
why Cherie doesn't do customer service.
I know. That is very true. That is very true.
We pride ourselves in doing really, really good customer service. And so
Cherie doesn't do
it. And Cherie doesn't even know what we do because she would be shocked at some of the stuff that we let people get away with.
No,
but it's
I've
all
always said that. I've always said the customer needs to walk away happy no matter what the situation.
Totally.
one like someone with one bad taste in their mouth can do more damage than anyone would understand. You know, you don't.
Absolutely.
That just spreads like poison, doesn't it?
And a bad experience that
Yeah.
customer service turns into a good experience is more memorable than
Yes.
an
And
average
just-
Exactly.
experience.
Yeah.
the whole way.
we had
That's what I
we had
always
a
heard.
great one over Christmas.
Oh,
Her jar had arrived smashed and apparently got on her carpet, and she was.
Tried to get a carpet replaced.
Oof, man, I'd
and it
never
was
seen
like
someone so mad.
Someone had recommended
Absolutely
the products to
furious.
her, so she was like a first-time purchaser. So all of this sort of stuff, but like,
Never purchase from you again. I'll never recommend you. This is a horrendous service. It was like the courier broke it, not us.
and like, what are you doing? That some nice words and replacing the package straight away, sending it straight out to her, like all of that sort of stuff,
Lots
and
of-
she was stoked.
She's like, "Oh, I will purchase again now."
Do you know what like the thing that I found was like people would come at you so hard to try and be impactful because they thought that you weren't going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So they'd try and come so hard, and then as soon as you're like, "Hey, I'm so sorry about this. We will absolutely replace that. It'll be on its way to you today."
Already on its way.
They'll come back and be like,
Oh.
"Wow, that is so nice. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Big fan of the brand." And I'm just like,
Why were
didn't
you
have to
so
come in
hard?
so
Just like-
aggressive.
why did you
Because
come and
we're always like,
attack
it's
me?
like they think they've already made it up in their mind that this has gone wrong. It's been a terrible experience, X, Y, and Z. But it's like we're gonna fix the issue.
So funny.
I think unfortunately, like a lot of drop shipping brands and a lot of big brands, and like had really slipped on that customer
Yeah.
service, and people just almost got used to
Bad
customer service being kind of
Yeah.
crap when it came to ordering things online, and didn't. Yeah, so you got to maintain your.
We
spot
had like
there.
a situation where someone like called me up. I didn't know how she got my number because I tried not to make it available everywhere. But yeah, calls me up. I'm like, "Hello, it's Hannah speaking." She's like, "Hi," and basically goes in to tell me that she had ordered so many packages on Black Friday that she didn't get the chance to open the box of slices that was delivered last week. That had a big perishable sticker on it, and that it was, what am I going to do about it? And I was just, and I'm on the phone, so I don't even have time to like think through my
Compose
response that I
yourself.
would.
Yeah.
So I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and like normally I'm like anti-confrontation. Like I thought that like I'd just be like, "Oh, we'll send another one," but I was like, "This is a step too far." I'd had so many and I was like, "I'm sorry, there's a perishable sticker on it. Like that's their situation."
You knew what you
Yeah.
bought.
Yeah.
That was how I handled that one. But normally we would do everything. But that one I was like, "Hey, you've obviously got enough money to buy so many packages
That you forgot about.
that you
one of
forgot
them.
the perishable one." If you call up my food bag because you forgot my food bag, I don't know if they're going to give you another one. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of your
Hey,
fault.
HelloFresh, sorry I left this package outside for
For a
3
whole
days.
week.
Because I was busy.
The ice isn't frozen anymore,
Yeah.
so it's actually the chicken's warm. Can you replace
What
it?
are you actually going to do about this, HelloFresh?
Oh man.
Anyway, customers always right.
Yeah.
We love them.
Apparently.
I love the customers. I've just got a new swimming pool thanks to my customers. So give them a little shout out. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I've like, honestly, every day I'm like, oh God, this is actually my life. I've got a pool. So good.
It's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure there would be like more prouder moments in my life, but that's actually it.
No,
That's
it's
it.
so
I'm
cool.
so happy. It's all I've
Yeah.
ever wanted.
Yeah.
Just to be surrounded by water, and I am now.
Did you guys have a pool when you were growing up?
Nah,
We did in Hamilton for a couple of
Oh.
years,
not that I remember.
but not for most of our childhood, nah.
Yeah, pools are so cool.
Yeah, I just love being in the water though. Like I've got heaps of friends who have pools for the kids, but like I'm in there. Like Kit won't get out. To be fair,
Yeah.
he discovered skinny dipping yesterday. He's
Yeah.
like, "Watch me, I'm a frog," and then he would not get out. It's like, "This is amazing." I've got.
Just imagine him as well. He
I
would be
know.
thriving.
Oh man. Yeah, they love it.
Do
Oh,
you think this is going to be your home for like forever home sort of thing, like next 10 years or?
It'll
I
have to be a decent amount of time.
think I'll be pretty happy there for quite a while. Yeah.
Sharp?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy in Papamoa. I think I don't see myself ever coming back this side, that's for sure. Even with the drive, I'm just so much happier by the
Yeah,
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, don't know. We'll see. But yeah, very happy there at the moment.
Yeah, nice.
Very good. Love it. All right.
You'll just end up moving close to the beach to swim in your pool more than swim at the beach.
No, because we went to I still go to the beach. I still love the beach.
Yeah.
I love the beach. Like, if it's a mint day, the thing with the beach is it's so fussy, you know.
Yep.
You can
Little
be
bit
like,
of wind
right,
and
I've
it's
cleared my
fun.
schedule to go to the beach, and you go down, it's windy.
Yeah.
It's actually good for nothing.
Yep.
And then, like, yesterday was just the most spectacular day. And sometimes the waves, too, you, like, get down there and you're like, oh, this is mint day. And then you hop in the water and you're like, oh, my God, I almost got killed by that wave. Better get out.
Yeah.
Or there's a shark.
Or there's a shark. But that wasn't too... We just swam with the shark yesterday.
They're totally different bodies of water. I agree.
Yeah.
The sea and the pool so different.
Yeah.
I just don't like the
You
ocean.
need both.
You definitely need both. You definitely need both.
Obviously.
We were at the lake yesterday, and you just get out of the lake and you feel clean.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, but you go ocean. I was in the ocean at 10 a.m. until about 2:30 yesterday, and then we went home straight in the pool. Till 5. Yeah.
Is your pool like salt water?
Yeah, it's this weird new technology that I don't entirely understand it. It is salt. Apparently, like, the salt like converts to chlorine somehow, or like I feel like that's not true, but it must like turn into something that chlorinates or does the thing to your pool that keeps it real clean. But it's not a full salt pool. It doesn't take. He said it's not a full salt pool, but there's no. I don't add any chemicals.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. I haven't been explained how to use it yet. He's coming back this week to
You'll
give
never,
me a handover.
you need someone
No,
else
but
to
it's all
sit with you when you
fairly
get explained.
it's all fairly self
Right.
running, and then I've got a vacuum that vacuums the bottom.
Yep.
The pot I've got no cover yet, so I thought it would be kind of cold, and there's no heat pump, and it's perfect. It's so perfect temperature, so I won't heat it for the next few months. Yeah, no, love it, so great.
Nice.
But I you know how, so I've blown the budget, like, obviously,
Like double.
by so much, and then
Of the pool?
Yes.
the pool probably is blown that. Yeah, blown that. But then the landscaping, and I was like, oh, you've blown that.
Well,
and I
you've
get
just
I got to
asked
pay the deposit on the landscaping. What have I forgotten? GST. So my quote didn't include GST. So I've just been walloped another 10 grand. I'm like, oh my God, I literally can't take any more. I'm like, I'm bleeding every which way here. So yeah, I better keep my business ideas flowing.
Rolling. Yep.
Yeah, we might be having
Time
a
to
Black
get some
Friday
discipline.
sale. We might be having a Black Friday sale in March.
You've done this to yourself. You can be packing the orders.
Oh, I know. No, I'm coming up with all these sideline business ideas.
Yeah, high maintenance.
High maintenance, yeah. He better get onto it. I need to hear some feedback about my restaurant idea. I'm hoping people... When's that podcast going up?
It went live yesterday.
I
Yes,
listened
sir.
to it
Did
on
you?
my walk this morning.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
What do you reckon?
I'd buy a ticket.
Restaurant at home, eh?
Yeah.
Perfect, see?
You could
So
you could
cool,
do a
especially
floating
with
bar,
the pool and
floating
the
table.
outdoor area.
Exactly
It'd be
right.
So cool.
So you rock up,
With
you have a...
cats and skinny
Yeah,
dipping in the
yeah,
pool.
yeah.
Maybe just ban the frog. Bloody hell.
Definitely, it would be so cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool, right? And you have the whole afternoon because you can't eat like 5 courses at once. So you'd be like, yeah, have a swim, you come up to the bar, have some drinks, like
So cool.
hopefully someone can play some free live music for me.
This has gone
Do it.
further.
No, I'm like, yeah, I'm on this idea, right? I reckon it's going to be so lush. And a great name for it. Sundays at Cherie's.
And probably like all of your friends would just buy tickets.
Well, yeah, I might run for my one for my friends. I'll be like, this is the trial,
yeah.
but you actually have to pay.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
You have
Yeah.
to pay.
No, but it's just like when you go away
Opportunity.
with a group of mates, it's like if you're all going to chip in for the food costs and like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But I'd love to do it. I'd love to give it a go. I need to look into the food, like, and what the requirements would be to do it, like, to get a license to do it, to do
You
the
just
food.
have to store your food separately from your household.
Yeah,
food, right?
yeah. I'll just put all my household food in the garage fridge or something.
Yeah.
Just have to put the animals away, maybe, like the cats.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't have a dog or anything, but like, lock the cats somewhere.
No.
All right, we better wind this up because I've got a fully jam-packed schedule. I'm sure Hannah needs to get back to the baby. Thank you, Han.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully that podcast was informative to people. Like, they're probably going to be so fascinated because it's like, I don't know if people listen for business or food, but it always gets people's minds sparked thinking about like, God, I never thought about that detail, what that must be like, or like.
You know, you definitely go into like when we were selling it, it's like a dark corridor that you're just figuring it out. So
Yeah,
it's a big process.
There
but
was lots of tidying up for us. It might have been a bit easier with Real Red, like just with the accounts. Like we had to
Kiko, yeah.
sort so much stuff out. Was that a mission or was that easy for you?
She's only
just-
had one business to sell. Like, we were trying to pull
Yeah.
2 businesses apart
yeah,
to sell half
it was
of it.
very like I had my cousin who's an accountant was like very on board with the financial side of
right.
it. We're like monthly dashboarding the
Right.
account, and I knew that I wanted to sell one day. So like I'm like
ready from the start.
OCD for the rules as well. Like
Yeah.
like Real Red Foods card was not being tapped for anything other than Real Red Food related stuff.
So yeah, I told you, discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Cherie's
I am
card is
kinda
tapped for
OCD.
everything and everything.
Yeah. See, I should have done it a little bit more maybe, but in the end, for the sale purchases, it worked. Like
worked well.
it was real clean.
Yeah, Cherie's would be
Not clean.
filthy.
Honestly, I don't know how our accountant has kept us.
Chris, do you guys have a bookkeeper as well?
No, but that's probably this year. So that's me that does all of that at the
That's
moment.
going to be Lorne,
Yeah.
bookkeeper.
Lorne is the bookkeeper.
All right, well, thank you. Have a great
guys.
week.
All right.
Thanks,
So fun.
everyone, for listening. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the products that we're talking about, you'll find us at pepperandme.co.nz.